Hello, this is Charlene. We're going to solve this word problem. The first thing we're going to do though is convert the English words to math language. We need to understand what all the parts of this word problem mean. So sum means plus, right? So we're going to have the sum of something. So it says the sum of 4 consecutive integers. Okay, so 4, we know what 4 means. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means 4 things are going to be added together. It's like we're going to have a number plus a number plus a number plus a number. Go ahead and change those to green. Plus and plus. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4. So the sum of 4 consecutive integers. Integers, of course, just means it could be positive numbers, it could be 0, or it could be negative numbers. Okay, so that's all integers means. Okay, but the word consecutive, we need to make sure we understand what consecutive. Consecutive just means in a row. So that means, for instance, in a row, it could be like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, because 1, 2, 3, 4 are numbers in a row. Okay, so how do we get from 1 to 2? What do we add to it? We say 1 plus 1, right? Well, how do we get from 2 to 3? Well, we say 2 plus 1. And then how do we get from 3 to 4? Well, we say 3 plus 1. So the thing is, though, if I start with just 1, what would I have to add? Let's think about it from that perspective. Let me put it over here so we can think about it just a little bit differently. Okay. Okay. So instead of saying, how do I get from just one to the next one, let's think about how do I get from the first one to each of the following numbers. Okay, so I can do, how do I get from 1 to 2? Well, I definitely do 1 plus 1. But what if I want to think about how I get from 1 to 3? Well, I get from 1 to 3 by saying 1 plus 2. Okay? And then how do I get from 1 to the 4? Well, that would be 1 plus 3. So this is really what is going to be helpful, is to think about this. So we really don't know what the first number is. This was just an example for us to think about consecutive numbers. 1, if 1 were the first number, then we would add 1, and then we would add 2, and then we'd add 3. But in reality, we do not know what that first number is. So what do we like to call things when we don't know what they are in algebra? We like to call them X. Yeah, so that's what we don't know. So instead of 1 plus 1, we would then go to the next number, and it would be X plus 1. And then to get to the other number, it would be X plus 2. And then to get to the last number, it would be X plus 3. Does that make sense? Because, we did not know what the first number was, so we call what we do not know in algebra X. That's our favorite letter to use for things we don't know. So we use that as our starting point. So the first number is X. The second number, we would add 1 to it. The third number, we would add 2 to it. And the fourth number, we would add 3 to it. So that is actually what we are going to use right there. We're going to use this right here as our equation. So we're going to add plus signs in between there, plus, plus, and plus. And it says in our word problem that the sum is, well, is always means equals in math language, and 222 actually is already math language, so that means this equation is going to be equal, all those things are going to add up to 222. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of erase what we've gotten here so we've got room to work. Actually, let's just scoot down a little bit. We'll keep this. We'll keep this part and scoot. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, so I don't need some of this stuff though to keep working it. Here, this is my equation I'm going to work, and we're just going to work this out right here. This is what we need to work on right there. So this is just simple algebra using order of operations. So I'm going to add all my like terms. Well, I have an x term right here, an x term right here, and right here. Those are all like terms. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. So that means I'm going to have 4 x's. I've just took care of that one, that one, that one, and that one. So now what do I have? I have some plain old numbers, which of course we call constants. So what's 1 plus 2 plus 3? Well, I do believe that that is 6. So plus 6. And then of course it's going to be equal to this 222 over here. So equals 222. So now I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. These will cancel out. I end up with 4x is equal to 222 minus 6. So let's see, that'd be 220, like 216. Yes, I believe that's right. And then in order to get rid of this 4 that's being multiplied times the x, I'm going to do the opposite of multiplication and do division, divide by 4, divide by 4. These will cancel out, and then x will be equal to whatever that is. Let's go ahead and get our little handy dandy calculator in case that's feeling a little bit too hard for our brain today. So 216 divided by 4, and that's going to be 54. So that literally is going to be my first number in order. So that means x is going to be equal to 54. Well, what's the next number in a row? Consecutive numbers. That would be 55. And the next one in the row would be 56. And the next one would be 57. And of course, I should add those up just to make sure they actually do add up to 222. So let's go get our handy dandy calculator. 54 plus 57 plus, did I leave one out? I did. 55 plus 57. 54, 55, 50, well, my goodness, 56. I'm just all over the place, aren't I there? But it does add up to 222 if you get everything in the calculator correctly. So that means that is correct. They do add up to that. So these are my 4 consecutive numbers that add up to 222. Hope that helps. And you need to go ahead and click that like button and click on the subscribe button, and we'll see you back next time. Thank you.